My name is Carly. For those that don't know me, I am going to be teaching some gentle wind down yoga tonight. I'll give us just another minute or so. Let's see. Tonight we will be doing just some gentle stretching. We'll be focusing on yin yoga, which is a more soothing, slow practice than a typical vinyasa. It's yin yoga, for those of you who are familiar with that. It's more yin focused. It's supposed to help with mentally and physically preparing us for winding down and getting ready for sleep. And tonight all you'll need is a mat. You will need I guess you only really need a mat, but if you have a strap, that would be great. We also might use a pillow if you want some more restorative versions of the poses. So a mat, a larger pillow if you want one, a strap if you want one, and maybe a block or a large book. But aside from the mat, you don't really need anything else. So go ahead, take a minute and grab all those props if you have them and you want to use them. We'll be getting started in just about a minute or so. Give anyone else a couple seconds to join, but you can go ahead and start to make your way to your mat after you've gotten your props. We're going to start seated tonight, so find a comfortable seated position. Have your props close by if you're using them. I'm going to be using a pillow throughout the whole practice. I'm going for the most restorative form of the poses as possible. I'm feeling extra achy with this rain that's going on, and I'm just going to relax this whole practice. So if you'd like one, make sure yours is near you now. Go ahead and start to become more present. Start to focus your energy on the inside rather than the outside. Maybe go ahead and blink those eyes shut. We had a week off, or we had some time off. I guess it wasn't quite a week. For me, it felt like it was almost a week. So it might take a little bit more time getting back into this if you haven't been practicing on your own, and that is completely fine. Just start getting more comfortable with the sound of your own breathing. Become more aware of the lengths of your inhalations and exhalations. Really focus that attention of the points of your body that are touching the mat, and let go of anything that is not soothing you at this moment. So any uncomfortable thoughts, any plans or goals or anything like that, just let them go and start to focus on the present moment, your breath. Take a deep inhale through the nose, inside out through the mouth. Inhaling deeply through the nose once again, and sighing it out through the mouth. Inhaling deeply through the nose, this time sealing the lips, and exhaling through the nose as well. So throughout this practice, if you haven't done a yin gentle yoga class with me before, I'll just let you know that we'll be holding poses a little bit longer than a typical vinyasa class. And that is so we can get that mental flexibility, that challenge that comes with holding longer poses, and also the physical benefit of elongating and stretching that fascia, which is the tissue encircling our organs that is not able to be stretched in just a quick stretch or yoga posture. It has to be done in a long pose. So that's really the goal of the night while we start to wind down. Inhaling once more through the nose, blink the eyes open. Interlace your fingers in front of your chest and push your palms as you exhale forward. Inhale, the palms come overhead towards the ceiling. Exhale, hold here. Taking 2 deep rounds of breath here. See if you can elongate the spine, pushing through the sits bones, through those palms, while bringing those shoulders down, not scrunched up by the ears. 1 more round of breath. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, you can release those arms down by the sides. And exhale it all out. Inhale as you interlace your fingers, go ahead and interlace your fingers the non-habitual way behind your back if possible. If it's not possible, that's completely fine. Maybe just go for your index or your thumbs. See if those just can interlace. If not, don't worry about it. Just get those hands behind your back and work towards it. Keeping the elbows bent, strengthen the spine. Inhale here. And exhale, push those palms backwards. See if you can straighten those arms any amount. Inhaling and exhaling, 3 deep rounds of breath here. And with every inhale, see if you can open the chest a bit more. See if you can continue breathing with the lips sealed, just inhaling and exhaling through the nose. 1 more round of breath here, slowing it down a bit. And exhale it all out. Releasing those hands. Inhaling the arms up, shoulders down. Exhale, turn to the right. Placing the right hand on the floor behind you. The left hand can come onto the right knee. Twist a little bit deeper, and then look over your right shoulder. Two more rounds of breath here. Inhaling back to center, arms up, straight spine. Exhale, twist to the left. Left hand finds the floor behind you. Right hand finds the left knee. Twisting a bit deeper and then looking over the left shoulder. 3 deep rounds of slow breath here. So as I kind of touched on earlier, a lot of people find slower moving yin yoga to be more challenging than vinyasa flow. And that is mostly because of the mental aspect of it. We are so used to our minds going a mile a minute. We are used to having our focus be on 10 different things at once. And when we're forced to just sit in one posture for 7 or 8 breaths, it can get a little bit claustrophobic and it can get a little bit frustrating. If any negative feelings come up for you throughout this practice, know that that's completely normal. And just observe those feelings and let them go. Inhaling back to center, arms straight. And exhale, walk those hands forward on the ground, any amount, however it feels nice for you, until you reach your end point, and then drop your head forward for 3 rounds of breath. Walking the hands back in towards the body. You're going to reach for your pillow if you have one and you want to go for the more restorative versions of the postures coming up. Tip that pillow onto your right thigh hip area. You're going to walk the right hand out to the side of your mat, down it, and bend the right elbow. Inhale that left arm up and overhead, giving your left side body a nice stretch. Make sure you're comfortable because we're going to stay here for 6 rounds of breath. If you want more of a stretch, put more of a bend in that right elbow. And make sure both sits bones are grounding onto the mat. You're not lifting up on one side. So just get silent and see if you can lengthen the exhales a little bit longer than the inhales. So say I'm counting in for 4 or 5 beats, then I'm going to exhale for 5 or 6. On your next inhale, come back up to center. Maybe give that neck a little bit of a massage, rolling it back and forward. Just for a second before we move on to the next side. So if you are using a pillow, go ahead and bring it onto the left hip area against the left thigh. Walk that left hand out to the side, putting a bend in the left elbow. Inhale that right arm up and overhead. Again, if you want more of a stretch on the right side body, put more of a bend in the left elbow. Have that pinky edge side of the right hand face down towards the ground. Gaze can be wherever you desire, so maybe out in front of you, or maybe you even bring the gaze up towards the ceiling. See what feels most comfortable for you for the next 6 rounds of breath. Just remember that we're grounding down through both sits bones. On the next inhale, reach back up, coming back to center. Move the pillow out to the side, but not far if you're using it. We're going to be using it again in just a moment. Let's bring those hands by our sides. Go ahead and shrug those shoulders up to your ears and slowly roll them down your back. Again, shrugging them up by the ears and then rolling them down the back. Let's do 3 more slow rotations of the shoulders. Maybe blink the eyes shut for these final 2. Shoulders come up by the ears and back and down. 1 more. Shoulders come up, back, slowly down. Blink the eyes open. Extend one leg out and then the other. You can use your fingertips to elongate your spine. Get tall. Flex the feet. And if you need to put a bend under your knees or in your knees, that's completely fine. Whatever's going to feel best for you. Again, this isn't about getting the deepest version of the stretch necessarily. It's more about what feels comfortable for us to hold for a number of breaths. So if you're going for the most restorative version of this posture, get that pillow onto your legs. Inhale the arms up and straight by the ears. Exhale, fold forward any amount. You can go ahead and point the toes if that feels most comfortable for you. And if you need a little bit more support, go ahead and fold the pillow in half so it's extra tall, and then round over it. Whenever you find your most comfortable form of the posture, let your head fall heavy. Relax it down. With every exhale, see if you can sink a little bit deeper into the posture. Again, seeing if with every exhale, you can lengthen it a bit more than the inhale. When you make your exhalations longer than your inhalations, what you do is you activate your parasympathetic nervous system. This is your rest and digest nervous system that gets you calm and relaxed and ready for sleep, which is the ultimate goal of this class tonight. On your next inhale, slowly walk the hands back in towards the body. You can move that pillow out just a moment. Bend the right knee, bring the sole of the right foot into the inner thigh area of the left leg. You can go ahead and use a pillow again if you'd like. You definitely don't need to. Place it on the left leg if you're using it. Inhale, rise up. Elongated spine. Exhale, fold forward, keeping as much of a flat back as possible until you start to feel any curve in the spine, and that's when you drop your hands to the ground or the pillow, whatever you're using. Let's do 6 slow rounds of breath here, dropping the head. Walking the hands back in towards the body, switching sides, extending the right leg, bending the left, bringing the sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh. Going ahead and placing that pillow on top of the right leg if you're using it. Either way, inhale, arms up straight overhead, elongated spine. exhale, bend it forward, flat back until you start to feel a curve to any degree, and then drop the hands. Inhale again here. And exhale, drop the head, 6 rounds of breath. Again, if your mind starts to wander at all, just bring your attention back to your breathing. No judgments if you start to notice any thoughts are coming into your mind. Just let them go. Next, inhale, slowly walking the hands back to the body. Removing that pillow. We'll probably use it again in a minute or so, so don't let it go too far. Extend both legs out in front of you. Feet are flexed, and then you can use the palms to gently guide your knees apart. We're not going for a super deep stretch here. No splits, so just extend whatever amount feels comfortable, keeping the feet flexed. Again, going ahead and putting a little bit of a bend in the knees if that feels more comfortable to you. Inhale, the arms up overhead. Exhale, twist to the right and bring those hands on either side of your right leg. You can either stay here or transition, grabbing hold of the inner right foot with your right hand, and then inhaling the left arm up and overhead. Whichever version feels nice to you. Two more rounds of breath here. Seeing if you can keep those exhalations longer than the inhalations. On the next inhale, rising back up to center. And exhaling here. Inhale, arms up long overhead. Exhale, fold it forward, palms down. Getting comfortable for 2 rounds of breath here. Noticing that if you rock your weight a little bit forward, you might feel a little bit more of a stretch behind the knees. If you feel discomfort, that is actually okay, but you don't want to feel any pain. Don't push it. Again, no need to push yourself at all in this class. You can simply go for the restorative form of any posture and not push it. The next inhale, walking the hands back towards the body. Exhaling here, tall spine. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, twisting to the left and bringing both hands on either side of the left leg. Again, staying here, transitioning to bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot. Inhaling that right arm overhead for a little bit of a deeper stretch on the right side body, only if it feels good for you. On the next inhale, raising back up. Exhale, use the hands to guide those knees back together. We are going to slowly start to release back onto the mat. So use your core, just a tiny bit of core tonight, not much. Bring those palms out in front of you, facing each other. I'm going to turn my mat just a little bit more to make sure you can see me. And slowly using that core, start to release down onto your mat until you find your way all the way back. Just take a moment here to feel the difference. Feel your body sort of melting into the floor below you. Becoming more aware of all the points of the body now that are touching the mat. Inhale and internally rotate the toes so that they face the ceiling, activating through the legs. Interlace the fingers above your chest and push those palms to the ceiling. Inhale, the palms come up and overhead, giving your body a nice stretch, maybe pointing through the toes. See if you can get even a little bit longer here. Inhaling once more. And exhaling, those hands come up towards the sky, still interlaced. They stop just above your chest and release them down. Bring the right knee into the chest. Hold on to it with both hands and round up, bringing your forehead towards the knee. Lift that left leg off the ground just about 2 inches or so until it's hip height. Option to stay here or bring the hands on either side of the leg, palms face each other for 3 breaths. The reason why we do just a touch of core work is that the back can become sore before bed or in bed, and doing just a little bit of core work can kind of offset that sometimes. Releasing everything down to the ground. Interlacing your fingers the non-habitual way and pushing those palms towards the ceiling. Inhaling, the arms come up overhead. Again, moving slow, taking every single micro movement with tension and focus. Pointing through those toes, seeing if you can get just a little bit longer as you stretch here. Taking a deep inhale, see how much air you can suck in. And exhale, bring those palms up to the center again, stopping just above the chest, and then releasing them down. Bending the left knee, bringing it in towards the chest, grabbing a hold of it with both hands, rounding that forehead up towards the left knee, and lifting that right foot just about 2 inches off the ground. Option to stay here or release the hands, palms face each other, 3 rounds of breath. Both feet are flexed. Releasing everything down after those 3 rounds of breath. I'm just moving those hips from side to side, just loosening everything up for just a moment. If you do have a strap or a belt or a scarf, go ahead and grab it now. If not, don't worry, we're only doing this for just a moment. You're going to bring both soles of the feet to the ground, knees are bent. Go ahead, and if you have a pillow and you're going for the restorative version like I am, bring the pillow to the outside of your right hip onto the ground. Wrap the whatever you're using, strap or belt or scarf, around the ball of your right foot and extend that right foot up to the sky, drawing those elbows towards the ground while holding onto the strap. If you don't have a strap and you still want to try this, go ahead and just hold on to your leg or your pants, whatever feels okay to you. Transitioning the belt into just your left hand, bring the excess strap onto the outside of your left body. Inhale here. Grab hold with both hands. Exhale. Bring that right foot out to the side, letting it fall onto the pillow. The leg is on the pillow, I should say. You can let go of the strap with your left hand. Bring that left hand out to a half T. Extend the left leg long and stay here. See if you can keep that right leg strong and long and straight. Both feet are flexed. Maybe you bring the gaze over your left fingertips. You can go ahead and try this even if you don't have a strap or something by holding on to your inner left thigh, or inner right thigh, excuse me. Let's do 5 luxurious rounds of breath here. Inhaling, bringing the gaze back to center. Slowly bring that right foot back to the sky. Plant the left sole of the foot on the ground. Bend the right knee. Undo the strap and bring the right foot to the ground as well. We only are going to use the strap for this one next side and then we'll be done with it. So if you're going for the restorative posture, bring that pillow to the outside of your left hip. Wrap the strap around the left ball of the foot. Grab hold of the strap on either sides of the leg and extend that left leg as long as possible. If you need to keep a small bend in the knee, that's okay, but try to get it as straight as you can. Bringing the strap into the right hand, bringing the excess strap onto the outside of the right body. Primarily holding with the left hand now. We're going to bring that left leg out to the side, onto the pillow. That left elbow can come onto the pillow as well if it works out that way. And extend that right leg long and straight. Again, if you don't have a strap, just go ahead and support your left leg out to the side any way that you can. Maybe underneath or on top, whatever feels good for you. Seeing if you can get a stretch in that left side leg. Extend the right arm out to the side, palm facing down. Bring that gaze over to your right fingertips and make sure both feet are flexed. Notice if you've forgotten about the breath at all. It's super common for that to happen in a yin class. Go ahead and see if you can come back to lengthening those exhales. And if it's available to you, keeping the lips sealed and inhaling and exhaling only through the nose. On the next inhale, bringing the gaze back towards the ceiling. Gently lifting that left leg back to sky as well. Bending the right knee, placing the right sole of the foot on the ground. Releasing that strap as you bend the left leg, bringing the sole of the left foot to the ground as well. Getting rid of that strap, just putting it out to the side. Inhaling both feet to the sky. Feet are flexed, legs are as straight as possible. Bringing the hands to the insides of the thighs and just gently guiding both legs out to the side until they reach a comfortable stretched position, as comfortable as can be in this kind of position. Feet are flexed, and see if you can take 5 rounds of breath here. Again, if the mind starts to wander, you start getting frustrated, just bring it back to the breath. No judgment, just let your thoughts go. A little shaking is common. One more round of breath. And then the exhale, bend the knees, use the hands to guide them back together and bring them into your chest. Bring the soles of the feet to the ground. You're going to hop your hips over to the right, just about an inch or so. Extend that left leg long. Hug the right knee into the chest. And if you want to go for the most restorative version, you can bring the pillow back out into the left side of your body and guide the right knee across the body with the left hand. Absolutely no need to use the pillow if you don't want. This is just the most restorative version of the pose. Extend that right hand out in front, out to the side of you so your right arm is straight, and bring your gaze to the left. With every exhale, see if you can get a little bit meltier. Let yourself fall a little bit deeper into this posture. And try to keep both shoulders on the mat. You don't want your right shoulder to be lifting up here. Two more deep rounds of breath here, lengthening those exhales. For the next inhale, bring that gaze back to the ceiling. Rotate those hips, bring the soles of the feet, I should say, to the ground. Hop those hips back to center. If you're using a pillow, bring it onto the outside of the right hip now. And ground through the soles of the feet and hop those hips over to the left, just about an inch or so. Extend the right leg long onto your mat. Hug the left knee into the chest. Guide it across the body with the right hand and bringing it onto the pillow or towards the floor. Extend that left arm out to the side in a half T, palm facing down, and bring the gaze over to the right. On the next inhale, bringing that gaze back to the ceiling. Rotating the hips, bringing the soles of the feet to the ground. Hopping those hips back to center. Moving any props out to the side. And then crossing the right knee over the left, ankle over the left knee area. Bring those legs closer to your torso. Reach through the space you've created and grab hold behind the left hamstrings. Figure 4. You're keeping both feet flexed here. Inhale. And exhale if it feels good, only if it feels good. Start to bring the left leg towards the body a little bit more. You want to make sure you're keeping your sacrum, your low back, connected to the mat. Releasing both feet down to the ground. Crossing the left ankle over the right knee. Reaching through the space you've created. Holding on to the back of the right hamstring. And just pull those legs closer to the body any amount. Keeping both feet flexed and making sure the sacrum is connected to the mat. 5 deep rounds of breath here. Slowly releasing the feet down to the ground. If you have a block, you can go ahead and make sure it's close to you. We're going to do 2 rounds of bridge. You don't need a block, but you can do the restorative form of bridge if you'd like. First, let's all of us do no block, even if you have one. So the soles of the feet are grounding into the floor. You can see if they're a good distance away from the body by if your middle fingertips can brush the edge of your heels when you reach down. If you can touch them, then you know that they are in a good position. Bring the palms of the hands to the ground. Push through the heels and lift the hips off the floor any amount. While you're up here, see if you can walk your shoulder blades in towards one another for a little bit more height. If you're comfortable here, you can go ahead and interlace your fingers underneath you, bringing the pinky edge side of the hands onto the mat. Make sure that your knees aren't splaying out to the side and that they are parallel with one another. Bring your gaze down to your belly and do 5 rounds of breath here. Watch your belly expand with every inhale and fall with every exhale. On your final exhale, release the hold of your hands and slowly start to roll down 1 vertebrae at a time until your back is flat on the mat. If you want to go for the supported version of bridge, you can grab your block, make sure it's close, or you can just do exactly what we did before. Either way, pressing the palms and the feet into the ground, lift the hips, walk those shoulder blades in towards each other. If you're going for a supported bridge, now is the time to grab your block. And at any height, I recommend the medium or low height. Go ahead and put it underneath your sacrum. That's the flat part of your low back. So it's not your sit bones and it's not your mid back. It's right at the end of your low back. And if you feel comfortable, you can remove your hands and bring them out to the sides. This is restorative because you're not really putting any effort into the legs. You're just sinking down onto that block. Taking 4 more rounds of breath here. On your next inhale, pushing through the heels, lifting the hips high up off the block, removing the block out to one side or the other, and slowly lowering down 1 vertebrae at a time. Once you reach all the way down to the ground, you're going to windshield wiper your knees from one side to the other. Going back and forth just a few times. And when you're done, you're going to go ahead and bring those knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug, bringing your forehead towards your knees, squeezing everything tight, giving yourself a really appreciative hug for all of the gentle kindness you just gave your body, and relaxing everything down onto the mat. Palms face the ceiling, the feet fall away from one another. Letting go of any control of the breath now, so if it feels more comfortable to breathe in through the mouth and out through the mouth, go ahead and do that. Blink the eyes closed. You can cover your eyes with a pillow or a towel if you have anything nearby, otherwise just blink them closed. Let your feet fall apart from one another. Maybe bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. Hold yourself. Release any tension in the knee area and the hips. Just let go, let yourself melt down into the mat. Let your shoulders fall back, no need to hold on to any tension. We hold so much tension in the jaw. See if you can get it a little bit looser. Imagine your eyelids becoming a bit softer. Soften the space underneath the eyes and between the eyebrows. Letting go of any tension in the forehead. Imagine the part of the head that is touching the mat just gets a little bit heavier. See if you can become still for the next 10 or so minutes, just breathing in this peaceful place of Shavasana. I thank you so much for taking the class tonight, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your night.